What is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm Chris Brock, the co-leader, and this week is a theme week, guys. So if this week is a theme week, then last week we did horror battles, and the films that I battled last week are, I think they were Fright Night and The Lost Boys, the original Fright Night and The Lost Boys. That video, I don't script my videos, and I just kind of go with the flow, kind of go on the fly, and I I think either I got off work or I was going to work, and when you're doing one of the two, you just don't feel too good. And I just wasn't into the video as much as I wanted to be, and I apologize about that. So if last week's video wasn't that great for me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to film on days that I'm not working at all or going to work, because I kind of want to sit down and think about what I'm going to talk about before I just turn on the iPad and film, because I had a lot of blank spots, and I just didn't get a touch on a lot of the points and a lot of things that I really wanted to with that video. So I do apologize for that. But for this week's theme, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a new theme. It is a new theme for myself and pretty much all the members. The only person that was on the channel when we did this theme was the Jay Sloan, and that is our Stephen King horror theme. Now, Stephen King is an amazing author. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. If you're a horror fan, most horror fans do know who Stephen King is. It's just a given there. But he does a lot of good stuff. From what I hear, I've read a little bit, not like a whole book, because I know he has a lot of long novels and stuff like that. Such as It. That's one that I would like to read, but I hear it is extremely long. That would probably take me forever to read, because when I get into something I can read it, but with work and everything, that would just take me a long time. I would just love to have like a week off, and I could possibly read half of it, maybe. I don't know, but it would just be good to read that book, because that book, I hear a lot of good things about, and the film itself, It terrified me as a kid, and I really want to get into more Stephen King. Stephen King books, because I've watched a lot of the films, and I really enjoy films that are based on his work, on his books. And I mean, there's a lot of good Stephen King films out there. Pet Sematary, Children of the Corn, Thinner, The Shining, The Mist. There's a lot of good ones. I could have named at least 15 more. Christine. There's a lot of good ones. And the one that I decided to review is one that I reviewed on my channel back in May. I think it was May 12th, 2004. 2004, really? 2014, I'm sorry. Wow. 2014, sorry. Uh, wow, that's embarrassing. Pretty much, I reviewed that around this time last year, so it's been a long time since I've seen, this film. And the film that I decided to review for you guys is Stephen King's Thinner from the year 1996. Thinner was released in October 25th, 1996, starring Robert John Burke, and is directed by Tom Holland, who is a fantastic director, in my opinion. He's directed Fright Night. I think he directed Child's Play, and he either directed or did the screenplay for Psycho 2. But yeah, he's a really good director, nonetheless. But pretty much what Thinner is about, it's about this guy named Billy Halleck, who is an upper-class, arrogant lawyer, and he's obese. He's an upper-class, arrogant, obese lawyer in the small town, and he pretty much, it opens up, we get to see him in his house and whatnot, yada yada yada, and it shows him going to court, defending this guy named Richie the Hammer. He's this big, crime lord, or crime boss. I don't know how they kind of, labeled him in the film, but yeah, he, obviously, you can just tell he's like a bad, I wouldn't say a bad person, but he does bad things just by the look of him. He looks like this mafia type guy, and pretty much he gets off scot-free because of Billy Halleck. And you can see that Billy is kind of in cahoots. He kind of has I don't know the word to say it. He's kind of connected with the authority figures in this small town, like the lawyer, the police officers, stuff like that. So he kind of gets Richie, this this crime boss, gets him off scot-free. And pretty much we see that there's this carnival or festival, whatever you want to call it, going on, which is pretty much hosted by these gypsies. And one night we see that Billy and his wife, I think his wife's name is Heidi, um, are kind of just driving through town. And I know we have a lot of younger viewers. I really don't want to say this, but pretty much his wife Heidi is giving him oral sex, and Billy is really getting into it, and does not care, is not focusing on the road, and runs over this elderly woman who turns out to be one of the gypsies, and pretty much murders her, manslaughter. And they go to court about it. And of course, like I said, he's in cahoots with the town and the town authorities, and he gets off scot free. And we see, I think, the gypsy, it's either her father or that was his wife. I don't know what it was, but either way, they were related, or it was, his spouse. I can't remember. It's been a very long time, but pretty much he comes up to Billy Halleck and does this and says thinner and puts a curse on him. And pretty much what the thinner curse is about, it makes Billy lose weight rapidly, and it does affect the people around Billy who were kind of in on it too, like the lawyer and one of the police officers who helped Billy kind of get off scot free. They have different curses, which I don't want to spoil for you guys what they are. I want you guys to figure that out when you watch the film, but it does affect them too. That's pretty much the basic plot of Thinner. I don't want to go too in depth on it. I don't want to spoil the entire film, but I thought Thinner was a pretty decent film. I think last year I rated it about a 7.5 out of 10, and I would kind of stick with that. I think it's a little bit above average. I don't think it's an amazing film. I think there are better Stephen King based films out there, like The Shining, stuff like that. I think those are a little bit better. But I did overall enjoy Thinner. I think it was a pretty good film. One thing I do want to say about it, it wasn't that scary. I don't think Thinner is a scary film. I really don't know how you can make it a scary film. It's about a guy who gets a curse and he loses weight rapidly. That's pretty much what it's about. It does have some really cool revenge elements in there. And, I like that. I thought it was pretty cool. It didn't have too much gore. But when it did, it was pretty good. I would it's more along the line of a violent thriller, I guess you'd say, more than the horror film, because it's not a psycho running around with a knife or an axe or a machete. It's not about zombies. It's not about demons. It's not about spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. It's more of like a revenge film, to be honest. And I thought it was pretty good. It was well paced. Had really good acting. I thought, well, pretty good acting. I can't say it's really good, but the main character did a really good job. The guy who played Billy, I think his name is John Robert Burke or Robert John Burke. I don't really know. It's been a long time since I watched the film. But I thought he did the best job, and the gypsies, they did pretty good. They was pretty creepy at times, and I liked the crime lord, Richie. I thought he did a really good job. The wife and daughter of Billy Halleck, they did pretty good as well. They just didn't have a big part in the film. But overall, I did enjoy Thinner. I would say check it out. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Like I said, it's not a great horror film. But if you like Stephen King and his works, definitely check it out. I would recommend it. And if you have seen Thinner, leave a comment down below. What do you think of it, and what would you rate it? Would you recommend it? And do you like the film? Do you not like the film? Leave a comment down below, guys, and I will see you guys next week on Late Night Frauds. Peace.